Every founder hits a ceiling, but it's never financial, operational, or strategic. It's biological. At some point, your brain is the bottleneck, and your business can't outgrow the brain that runs it. So you can build better systems, have better funnels, hire better people, but if your brain is operating at 20% capacity due to chronic stress, everything slows down downstream. But no one tells you this when they sell you their marketing course. It is natural that at some point, every entrepreneur hits a biological ceiling because the brain did not evolve to make you successful. It evolved to keep you safe. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, safety meant avoiding predators and repeating yesterday's behavior to stay alive. But today, it means avoiding risks, conserving certainty, and repeating what already worked. So every time you're forced to grow and make decisions under unclear circumstances, your brain panics in the background. It tags the unknown as a threat. Your heart rate spikes, your cortisol rises, and your decision quality falls off a cliff. And if you're untrained, you avoid the pain of growth. You start optimizing for control instead of leverage. You choose safety over scale. You know what to do, but you don't do it because your brain will rather stay alive than help you win. And that is when you start rationalizing, delaying, spinning inside your own logic. Your biology is running a survival protocol in a game of scale. But the problem isn't the fear itself. The problem is the stress that never turns off. Because every time you hit the limits of your comfort zone, you get a boost in cortisol. And short-term stress sharpens performance. Just ask any Navy SEAL about it. But chronic stress corrodes it. And since you live in a hyper-stimulated environment, you have no built-in recovery mechanism. You are by default operating in chronic overload. Your brain is hyperactive most of the time. And under sustained friction, the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain, shuts down. So you start leaking IQ points in real time. You forget details, you overthink simple decisions, you spend 12 hours at your desk and still feel behind. You eventually waste most of your day. And the decay is subtle at first, but it compounds. And every time you operate in this state of cognitive overload, business gets harder. One missed decision becomes 3. One unclear system becomes 4. And before you realize that your business stuck because your brain can't think clearly. And that is where it gets dangerous, because what starts in your brain spreads into your company. You start making reactive decisions. You start chasing control instead of leverage. You start optimizing for personal relief instead of business momentum. And from there, the noise compounds. You build processes from a dysregulated state. So the company inherits the chaos. You hire from fear, manage from anxiety, and call it leadership. And the problem is that your team senses it. If you are not sharp and operating at high performance, they stop operating at high performance themselves. There's no clarity in the team, and there's no great culture. You can't build a great culture if your brain is running a survival mechanism. But there's a way out. And it has nothing to do with improving your systems or hiring A players or buying yet another course that is going to fix nothing. The way is to expand the system that runs your business, which is your brain. See, at a certain level, the next level in business becomes neurobiological. You're no longer solving business problems. You're upgrading the hardware that processes them. I call this brain expansion. And it's not about mindset. It's about literal capacity to handle stress. It's about widening the nervous system's tolerance for uncertainty, risk, and complexity so you can hold pressure without hijacking your focus. It's how you train your brain to stay clear when others default to chaos, when you can be intense without missing key details, when you can be under extreme stress and still remain in control. Elite operators become elite because they do this. They don't avoid stress, they metabolize it. They built a brain that can stay calm under any circumstance. Let's say that they run a marketing campaign that flops. Cool, they relaunch it. If they have a key team member that quits, cool, they hire again by end of day. If they have a sales call that doesn't convert, cool, they review the footage to identify areas for improvement. To understand something that most entrepreneurs never learn, that the business is never the bottleneck. Your ability to manage the business always is. As Kate Rabois said, your business limits are your stress management limits. But here's the truth, until the mind scales, nothing else does. You need to train your brain to convert stress into signal, chaos into control. You need to make calm the default state so you can actually lead your business without making mistakes. And that's what we do at Selfmastered. We help founders just like you train their mind for consistent clarity, focus, and execution. So scale stops feeling like survival and it starts becoming the natural outcome of personal mastery. If you want our help in becoming the most elite founder you could ever be, book a call below. And if we have slots, we'll happily tell you how we help. See you in the next video.